Hi everybody. This video I'm going to show you how I stain tongue and grooved ceiling boards. I've got quite a bunch of them stacked there. They're 16 footers. You can see I have room on my porch to swing a 16 footer all the way around because that one happened to come off the stack backwards from what I like. And I've got a rack standing there made of two vertical members. One of them's off the screen to the left, but they're just 2x8s or something fastened up to the to one of the purlins, and there are pieces of 3/8 rebar sticking in 1/2-inch holes every 3 inches up and down those 2x8s that make a rack. I've placed the board on the rack at a comfortable staining position right there, and I'm showing you how I stain a board. I load up my brush with one heavy brush load of stain and just let it run out onto the board on the flat part of it all the way from one end to the other, and then I work my way back to the right, brushing it over just the flat part and the front bead of the board. There's a beveled bead on the edge toward me, and on the edge away from me there's a milled set of fancy grooves, and I save that till last. So in this pass I'm just staining the flat part of the board and just getting the stain to cover the flat part and get it all wet and not worrying about brushing it out on this pass. Then when I hit the end of the board, I turn around and go the other way and I stain the milled grooves. And what I'm trying to do there is to not get too much stain in those grooves, because it will puddle in the bottom of the grooves, and I don't want it to puddle while it's drying. So I have a fairly dry brush and I brush it into the millwork and try to get it in there so that there's not so much that it'll puddle. So what I do is I pick up stain from the flat part of the board and brush it into the millwork, and if my brush is too dry I'll pick up more from the flat part, and if there's too much stain on my brush then I'll just work my way along the milling to dry it out. So in the process I'm doing two things. I'm staining the millwork and I'm brushing out the flat part of the board, so that by the time I move to the left the board is all nice and stained. So you can kind of see my operation there. I've got it set up on my porch. That porch is 28 feet long down to the end where you can see my crane hanging at the end, and it's 16 feet wide except for the cutout for the stairs, which you can't see from here. I've got all the 16-foot boards I need for the entire ceiling for the whole building, inside and out, in that stack, except for what I've already installed, and I've got quite a bit already installed. You can see the ceiling over the porch above my head is already installed, and so what I have left to do is two more eaves on the outside, one gable and one on the far end of the building, and then all of the interior ceilings. Those will be varnished instead of stained. So this video just shows you how I do one board with one brush load of stain, and when I finish staining it then I just hang it up in that rack and it'll dry. So next week when I come out to install ceilings I'll have a supply of stained boards. I ended up staining 20 of them today, so that'll give me a good supply for next week. So here I just hang it up on the next rebar pins that are sticking out of those uprights, and go back and get another board. So thanks for watching. Check out my website if you're interested in more details.